Hi, happy
Hello.
Tuesday.
Yep.
So, today we're going to go straight into everything like that we have for today. It's going to be fast and furious.
Yes.
This is probably going to be one of the lives that goes on once a month for the reasons that we are going to only start giving value inside our Unstoppable and Unashamed Entrepreneurship Facebook group. So if you would like more information on how strategic branding can help you level up, can help,
Mhm.
bring in loyal customers, can help you maintain longer relationships, can help your customer journey for your clients where they actually rave about you, then go ahead and get into our Facebook group. We're going to be sharing a lot more in there. Like we're actually um, going to be pouring ourselves. And as you've seen, we're actually posting a little bit more often.
I'm
But like,
posting.
yes, she is. Which I love because she is my other half. She is my business partner, and we have this whatever you want to call it, but it's like a DNA that's mixed between me and her. And so I truly believe that what we carry together
Yeah.
really makes a difference. And
Yeah.
I love that she's sharing and that she's pouring into social media and speaking out her truth. So since we're going to be going and posting more on our Facebook group, as you see, we're sharing in our profile what we think, but we're actually giving more inside our group. So we're starting to really promote our group. Why? Because we really want to pour in somewhere where there's a community where we can give all of our information, but it's not just to everyone. It is to whoever wants to come into this community and really wants to hear what we have to say. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for more strategy, more value, more community, more, structure for yourself, all of it, we're going to be pouring ourselves in there. And I want to start really enforcing that for the reasons that we love coming on to our, public Facebook and to LinkedIn and YouTube. But in reality, where we want to pour ourselves is our Facebook group, like our private Facebook group, Unstoppable and Unashamed Entrepreneurship. And that is because that's our little online house, if you will. But
Or
this is where we
party
get,
place.
yes, this is where we get to party together, where we get to do community together. This is
Yeah.
where we can show all of it. This is where I want to show up and I want to be able to give you more.
That's
And I
right.
didn't really
And
know what to
celebrate.
do. Yeah. And I didn't really know, like, I think as you come into entrepreneurship and you're really going on organic marketing, you really are learning a lot of things. And even though we do branding, marketing is the overall, branding is the foundation. So you have branding as part of the whole marketing
That's it.
scheme. But not necessarily does it mean that we knew all marketing strategies. Does that make sense? I think a lot of people think that we're a know it all or we're an expert in everything, but we are not claiming to be. Like, I can tell you right now that I had no idea how much organic marketing can really impact a business. But we do now. And so, like, you don't have to go ahead and do ads, but we are this part. This is where we are expert at. And that's really where we want to pour into that community because we feel like that's my house. I can say whatever I want in there. Not that I'm going to go ahead and, like, I don't know, be some crazy person, but I just want to be real. I want to be able to communicate with you. I want you to have more access to me and Nicole. And I feel like this is a season that we're bringing this in. We're bringing in our people and our tribe into this area,
Yeah.
into the Facebook group. So if you're on LinkedIn and you're seeing this, we have it on. We changed all of our banners because we are promoting our Facebook group so people can come in, because we're not going to be posting these live videos on all of our channels. These are these main really big videos are going to be more to our Facebook group. I'm probably going to go on our um, public ones once a month, but all of it is going to be inside our group. So we just wanted to announce that, but I think because I think it's extremely important as we progress and as we evolve with our business and where we pour our energy, we don't want to pour our energy just like as wide as possible. We want to come in and really hone on one area. And so, yes, are we going to keep posting like the general stuff? Yes, we will still post like on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. But where we're going to give all of our all is going to be on this unstoppable and unashamed entrepreneurship group. So we wanted to give you the strategy and back of like, what's our strategy? Why are we doing this? And then go into what is high quality brand companies versus no brand companies. Why? Because I think a lot of people think that everyone has a brand, and in some sense they do, but in other sense, not so much. Some of them are commodities. Like they might have a regular logo, they might have maybe some fonts, they might not be completely consistent. There was actually I went we just picked up a friend from the airport in Sacramento 3 4 days ago, and we stopped at a gas station on the way to Sacramento from Redding. We live in Redding. Levi and I live in Redding, California, for anyone that doesn't know. And so Sacramento is about 3 hours away. So we stopped at a gas station, and I was looking at this really nice building. And this building was green and beige. It was beautiful, but it had no logo. It just said that it was like some type of equipment warehouse. Like, but it was really well, like structurally, and the green was actually like well painted, like where it says, like equipment warehouse or whatever it said on there was like the signage was really well made, but there was no branding. And so people would think that that's branding.
Oh, and I can even think of other examples. And so we come across them time after time after time when we're on the road. You see these white utility trucks
Yeah.
or whatever utility truck, and you know they work for something, but they don't have graphics on the side. And some of them do. But you also tend to wonder like, okay, so how legit is this business? You know, it
Oh,
could be
yeah.
lawn care, it could be some kind of like power contractor or water or something, a utility company or some other service or cable. But you actually wonder like how legit is this contractor
Not
or
only
whatever
that,
the
are you
service?
going to remember them?
Exactly.
After you see that truck, are you going to remember this company? And are you going to remember their name? And so there's no strategy in back of the branding, like what is called the visuals, because they do have, their truck is white and blue,
Yep.
and it says, Mr. Fernandez lawn mowing.
Yep.
But are you going to remember them because
Yep.
there was anything that stood out? And that's really what branding is about. It's like, how do we make you stand out strategically to make sure that you're not like every other lawn mowing company, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think I have any lawnmower owners on here, but I'm saying like the fact is that what I'm saying is the service that you provide. Are you like any other in
Yeah.
your industry? If you're in
It
accounting,
In our town, like, yeah, I was just thinking of this tow company that we've got, and they have created, where all of their tow trucks have some kind of, like, um, candy or some kind of, like, pop type of thing where you actually know, like, "Oh, that's the M&M guy," but not quite. They have characterized all of these, like, memorable brands, put them as vehicle wraps on their tow trucks, and you know which company that is. It's Hawkins. And it's like, "Ah, I see, I remember that because I remember that."
yeah. And so, like, at the end, like, let's say you're in the accounting industry. You tell me, how are you going to stand out, especially if you have the same type of content? Because what makes you different? And so at the end, if you're writing the same content as all your other accountants, I'm not saying that it's not okay, but I'm saying, like, what is going to make you stand out? What is strategic about the way that you do your offers? What is strategic about how you're going to reach the audience that you specifically want to work with? Like, these are the things that we really talk about branding. And so I want to talk about what is the difference between one and the other. And so a high quality brand, one of the first thing that you're going to notice is that they're going to use higher end materials, higher end software. There are completely different. And so that's one of the things. And a lot of people are like, they get it from the same place, like Walmart and, let's say, um what would be a high-end Walmart? Like
Target.
store. No. Lord have mercy.
High-end Walmart.
What would it be? Like a company that, God, I can't remember.
Mm.
Um Not exactly like a Walmart, but something that would be close to, you know what? It would be easier for me to say like a grocery store. A grocery store in your town compared to Whole Foods.
Oh, like Publix?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And you're
let's say
familiar with
Publix,
Publix.
yeah, but not everyone is, because
Exactly.
if you're not in the southeast region of um United States, then you probably wouldn't know who Publix is. But Publix is actually a big brand that really has positioned themselves in the supermarket industry
They
in the
have.
southeast
Yep.
area, and they dominate that region. So Publix has positioned themselves with their branding as as well as Whole Foods nationally, right?
Mhm.
But they even themselves are different. And so the fact is that another supermarket that comes in and has, it's more like a mom and pop shop, is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same experience. Like, Publix is well known for its sandwiches. Like, Publix subs are a thing. And like everyone in Florida talks about the Publix subs. And mind you, they're just subs. And Nicole's laughing because the first thing I asked when we went to South Carolina was, where is the nearest Publix so we can get a sub? Because we're living in California right now. And in California, they don't have Publix. And we whine about it. But
Oh my
me and
word.
Levi, because Levi, until he didn't meet me, he didn't know anything about the Publix subs until he met me. And then we went to Publix, when we were in Miami. And he was like, okay, these subs are amazing. And they're a supermarket, but they're well known for their subs. They're well known for their deli. They're well known for their foods.
They're well known for their customer service because
Yes.
right when I had my daughter, they made sure that they walked out with me and got my groceries in my car.
Yeah. Like, they're huge, and their customer journey as you come in, because it's not only visuals, it's how they make you feel, how they make you go through an experience. What do you experience? How they position even their aisles,
I
their
was going to say
lighting,
all
their
their aisles,
music,
their people, like all of it.
all of it is part of their brand experience that you actually get to experience for yourself. And so,
That's
like,
right.
what makes it higher quality? Probably their lighting, the way that they do their when you open the doors to their freezers, like, as if no one's in the aisle, they're actually turned off, and as you come in, it
Oh, and
actually
then they
starts
do do
lighting
do
up
do do.
one. Yep. And so, like, that's an experience in itself. They had to pay more for those freezers than a regular freezer in some other supermarket.
And
So,
their
like,
bathrooms are nice.
yes. So, like, those, and let's say for clothes, or for maybe more for like the beauty industry, you would
Mhm.
think, what type of materials would they get more that are more expensive, and you're going to have higher quality, because a lot of people are like, Walmart is the same thing as, or some, that you go get Walmart's beauty compared to, let's say, Fenty, and you're not going to get the same experience. and sometimes like Chanel or one of the other ones, they really pay. And I know this because I actually watch someone that deals with the beauty industry, and the she's like a chemist or something. I don't know, something in reference to like really like a real doctor. And she talks about the because we all rave about all these brands, and she goes and she actually tells you what these brands and that these higher end brands actually do pay for higher end um, ingredients, and they also make their own kinds, so they actually have patents on them, on specific like mixes of chemicals, and they can charge more because of that. So like their
Hmm.
materials, their chemicals are different.
Yep.
So you're paying $60 compared to $10.
Oh, and that's why
There
they've
is
done
a
that.
difference. Yes. And so also materials for like, let's say for oh, what's a cloth brand that is expensive? I don't know, Versace. Versace compared to a Walmart, and a t-shirt, and people are like, it's the same t-shirt.
No, it's no
Not all the time.
different.
Sometimes it can be,
It
but they
depends on the
actually
material.
have, yep, and they actually have different, like they have specialized vendors that actually like take care of all their clothing, or they specifically do this type of clothing for this brand, and they don't do anything else. This is why like people talk about like they go and try to buy fake Louis Vuittons, and that it comes from the same factory. Not necessarily true. Okay. So this is like there's a
Yeah, it's
big
like
thing,
the
and most
pleather.
consumers, yes, consumers think that it's, that there's no difference. But someone that wears Louis Vuitton or that wears a Fendi,
Oh, they'd probably notice from a long distance away.
yeah, you can tell. I mean, I have a real Fendi from a long time ago, but it's because I had a friend that they were really wealthy, and she gave me a Fendi purse, and I still
Wow.
have that purse. That purse is still in great conditions, and I used it all the time. I still have it. I don't have it here. I have it in Miami. But the fact is that you can tell the difference. Like there is a difference between a fake Fendi and a real Fendi. Sorry, but that's the truth. A real Fendi is going to cost you over $5,000. Like they're amazing. And the way that they do their stitching is different from someone that tells you like a fake one. You can see that it's glued. You can see the mess of sometimes the glue. You see that the stitching is not completely right. Sometimes you can tell that the band is not real leather. So there's a lot of different materials that, high quality brands have compared to something lower.
Yeah.
That's one difference in a branded high
Material.
quality material. Another thing is research.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of money on research. Apple spends a lot of money on research. They spend a lot of money on development.
Mhm. And they're researching on their clients, they're researching on feedback from clients, they're researching from doing interviews, focus groups, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and this costs tons of money. Tons of money to find out what is it that you're going to like best.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, and
there are,
cultural trends too.
yeah, and they actually there's something called social hearing, and it's special apps or special program softwares that actually they have for social hearing to see what's being said out there in the social media and their trends. So
Very
like
cool.
these companies have all this stuff like, and branding agencies do some of this stuff for them. Why? Because they are able to do some of this stuff. These are some of the stuff that are the secret, parts of branding. Um, and sometimes like smaller businesses don't need to do this, like, or they don't have the capacity to do it, but you can still do like small focus groups. You can still do surveys. You can still go ahead and interview clients.
That's
You
right.
can still do some other stuff that can be given to, that's more for a smaller company than a
Mhm.
bigger brand. A bigger brand has a lot more to lose. A bigger
Mhm.
brand has to really, really make it. If not, they sink. Look at Nokia, right? Who remembers? Or what is it? Blueberry? I can't
BlackBerry.
remember. Burberry?
BlackBerry.
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 Blackberry. I don't even remember their name. That's how bad it is. So it tells you that if you don't keep with the trends and you're not listening to what your customers want or your consumers want, or what they're asking for, maybe it's something new trending in the industry and you're like, that's nothing.
Mhm.
I suggest you listen, because a lot of new trending stuff comes and people don't pay attention. They're like, that's nothing. People said all the time in the early 2000s that none of this was going to work, that social media was just a trend,
Oh, a
that
fad.
Twitter was a fad, that Instagram was going to die, that Facebook was not going to overtake MySpace.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like, people don't realize that this is why having these companies really listen, the bigger companies, and go into really hard research and development, because they want to make sure that they're innovating consistently. And that's one of the things that I put on here. It's innovation. They're always inventing and they're always seeing new eras they can dominate, right?
Mhm.
And then they can advance the industry because they want to see where they can position themselves, where maybe there's a gap that people have been asking for, or that people are not really aware that they need. Like Apple came out with a phone that was a touch screen and like completely changed the industry.
Yep.
No one knew that that was a gap, and they literally positioned themselves in that. And so that's what branding does. Do you think Apple didn't have a branding agency? If you go back, you're going to find it. It says that um, Steve Jobs hired a branding agency for this stuff
And this is when he came back from, where did he work again?
from Pixar.
Pixar.
Yeah. He had learned about storytelling at that
Yeah,
time, because
that was it.
storytelling is messaging is extremely important for a company.
The
That's what changed.
non-visual side.
Yes, because he knew that visually it was important, but he also understood that storytelling and messaging was vital for Apple. This is what changed Apple. The stories he would tell when he would get on that stage,
Yeah.
it really rocked them. And he was a changed man. But, anyways, apart from that, what else?
Yeah, we
We
have to keep
have
moving.
volume.
Yep.
Volume, depending on how much volume you buy, depends on your prices, depends on how much you can take in. These companies are doing big ones. But for you, you can still do volume too. It doesn't necessarily, you start with the small, and there's strategy for all this. And I think we get hung up on the bigger companies, but some of this stuff also can be for small companies. Only because you are a smaller company does not mean that you have to be a non-brand company. And so that is really what we want to nail, to all this. Like, make sure that you are listening, that you are paying attention, because strategy can really make a difference for your company. Because you're a small company, you can still make really great strides and really overtake the competition because of the way that you
That's
partner
right.
up with an agency.
Yep.
And so, in reality, because business owners are really busy and they're overlooking the whole thing, they're the visionaries. You guys are the visionaries. But at the same time, then you see stuff like kind of broken in parts of your business. And you're like, how do I make it together where it's really a well oiled machine? And it's like some of these parts belong to a customer journey, the way that you work through workflows, the way that you have standard operating procedures, the way that you position yourself to your audience. Like, some of these things is extremely important. And so, how do we find out? We go through market research, analyzing, going ahead and making all this data, and then not only do we get the data, but then we convert it into visuals. I mean, that is brilliant. That's like, not everyone has that. And Nicole is such an amazing part of that, because I tell Nicole, this is the strategy. And then Nicole's like, okay, I'm going to strategically visualize and execute on that. and every client gets their own execution and their own strategies, because it really depends. Also, we work with different industries. We do specialize more in service based companies.
That's true. That's
It's
just the way
true.
it is.
It's the way the stuff that we do best. Have we touched ecom? Yes, we have. Have
Yes,
we
we have.
touched like a restaurant, um, a coffee shop, um, like
Clothing.
even clothing with a big brand. So like there's still like, there's other aspects, but what we mostly do is service providers. So what else? The other thing is people, big companies or brand companies do durability testing, and they do performance testing. And so some of these things are done by, machines. Sometimes it's
Yep.
like wear and tear. They go through all these processes to make sure that their quality is in check. And this is quality assurance.
Oh my
Like
goodness sakes.
we
That's probably
even
one of
do
the
this.
most important parts of the whole process is QA.
I think no one likes this part.
No
No
one
one cares
does.
for the part until you try to skip that part, and then things are broken or
Think
they're
about
buggy.
car companies like Volvo.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
word.
Yes. So this is the stuff that we're talking about. It's like, okay, I really hadn't thought about all that. It's like all these things really matter. This is why also bigger companies have to do more, because they really are doing massive amounts. The other thing is what I left for last is branding for the best at the end, which is, you come together and you partner with a brand agency to really, and you can tell the big brands do this. And if you go back like Coca-Cola, you can see other, like, as they've progressed, they've done brand refreshes or rebranded depending on where they're at. It depends
Yep.
on the company and what they're trying to do. What is it that you're looking for? And we always ask, what is it that you're looking for? Like,
And
what exactly are you trying to?
we won't talk about New Coke back in the 80s.
Ooh, yes. Do you remember when they tried? Was it them that they tried the white Coke, like the clear Coke,
Oh,
or was
what I
that Pepsi?
believe, or was it Pepsi? Maybe it was
I think it was
Pepsi. Yes, I think it was Pepsi.
that they tried the clear Coke and they had no dye in it,
Yeah. Oh
and it
man.
was
Yeah,
refreshing.
just complete flops of a few things. Oh my word.
So you're like, wait a second, it flopped. Yes, yes, they went, even though there was research, testing, all of it, and it still flopped.
Yep.
You're like, they just lost a ton of money
They probably
that
spent
they,
millions.
yeah, they probably did. I'm sure of it.
Millions.
And yeah, because you're talking about they needed to have like a sub brand, like
Oh,
specifically for that. And so they did testing, they did all of that, and they still
yep.
failed.
Yep.
And it happens. And what happens is like they immediately know how to tweak some things and change. And product based companies tend to move quickly and produce other products.
Yeah.
So it's not like they lost all that money and they were going to sink, because they're continuously um, out, putting out there different items, different products. Anyway, so that is all for today. Like, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Let me see. I think we're good. Uh, okay, I don't think there's anything. I just wanted to make sure that if there is anything, I'll go ahead and reply. But thank you so much for coming on here. I know some of you were on. I appreciate you. We will be giving you more strategies. Like, there's strategy just in what we shared. Like, because you're starting to think outside the box compared to other owners. Like, this is where the value is at. And so we want to be able to bring that for you. And so, like I said, it's going to keep going on inside the Facebook group. We're going to do
Yep.
little mini ones too. Nicole is going to start doing some lives about things you should know that designers do, or little tricks and tips that she can give you on your own browser, on your own Canva account. Different things, because I think a lot of like there's new designers that claim that Canva can be just the same as Photoshop and Illustrator, and that's not true. Um, so there's a lot in that, but I'm going to leave it like that. We're not saying that Canva is not a tool that you should use. We do believe that it's a powerful tool. Like we
It's
said,
very
it's
powerful.
new, it's coming, it's going to keep going.
And it's
It's going to keep getting better.
constantly getting better.
Yeah. So who knows if Canva will overtake Adobe? We don't know that. But for
We
right
don't know.
now, Canva is not as powerful as the Adobe suite.
Yeah.
And so we can do so much more than you would be able to do in Canva. And we use Canva. We use Canva for like reels and all
I'm in
the
it
other
right
stuff.
now.
Yes. So we have other stuff that we do in Canva that we do see that the value, but not all of the stuff goes through Canva for the reasons that it can't give you the tools that you really need to be able to do the work we do,
Yeah.
conceptual work.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, we love you, love you, love you. We thank you so much for today, and we will see you inside the group. And if
Yes.
you're in the group and watching this, we will be coming on more often in the coming week. You're going to see some little snippets from me. You're going to see a lot more content coming. Well, I think you've already seen that it's starting to happen, and there's definitely a shift. So we're going to be doing more of these live videos too, and just pouring in there. We're also going to be talking about our agency and some of the stuff that goes in the back, all the secrets that we don't really talk about much. Um, yeah, because honestly, we're really busy, but we really want to have community, and we feel like we can do that in our group and not outside. It's not for everyone. It's for whoever comes and joins us. So
Mhm.
we love you. Until next time. Bye.